Hello, my sexy muffins, and welcome back to another video. In this video, we are going to be doing doing a bigger video. This is definitely going to be a bigger video because I got a bigger script, which is we're going to be doing base Yandere Danny slash Ghostface from Dead by Daylight, but also with a scenario where you play as the unaliver in the game boyfriend reader scenario, not leader reader listener boyfriend scenario where you are one of the unalivers. I have to follow the demonetization very well. Anyways, that is what you are going to be. So that is what we're going to do. So let's start with the disclaimer. But we do have base Yandere headcanons for Ghostface because I thought I would update them since I know more about his character and all that stuff. So they are accurate. And also a little bit of male headcanons. What would be for a male listener headcanons. And then the scenario at the end. So let's do this. Disclaimer: Danny, aka Ghostface, is not Yandere in canon. This is just for fun and not to be taken seriously at all. Simping for fictional characters and yanderes is fine. Just do not be illegal or gross about it. You know who you are, you dirty flaky biscuits. Yanderes are not ideal partners to have in real life. Also, remember to separate fiction from reality and headcanon from canon. And also that, like in fictional serial unalivers, is fine as long as they're fictional and not real people. It is okay to simp for the bad guy or the villain or the unaliver, as long as you separate fiction from reality and headcanon from canon, and do not support what they do IRL. Anyways, let's do this. Danny is the most planner of all yanderes I have done. He plans his killings and his unalivens and all that, and makes sure that he does not act impulsively. Rarely does he act on impulse. This is very, very rare for him indeed. And this carries over into the way that he does stuff with you. And this stays the same for his love for you as well. It was just by chance that he saw you at the bar, but it was his choice to follow you home and stalk you, learning everything he can about you. Unlike his typical stalkings, which last a few weeks, his went on for months, if not years. He did not plan to unalive you. Instead, he was learning everything he could about you. Obviously, he is the type of yandere that will stalk you and learn everything he could about you, even breaking into your home and stealing some things that you would not miss. He would cameras throughout your home to watch you do everything, including showering and changing your clothes. He would want to know everything about you, including every intimate detail. He is beyond obsessed, and like I said, how he is typically plans his unalivens, this is not always true. In which sometimes he acts on impulse, like with the parody news articles, and how he sorry and how he went into such a blind rage that he brutalized them and left them in a way he would not as Ghostface. This does not leak this does leak out to be one of the two ways he deals with rivals. If he does have a rival, he is first stalking them and learning the best way to unalive them. But if they get too close to you, he would act on impulse and go into a blind rage. At this moment, it is when he goes into a blind rage, it is not Ghostface that is dealing with them. It is personal, and he is going to make sure they knew that the face of the man, your man, and that they had crossed a line. He does not care who the rival is or what the rival is. You are the love of his life, and he is not going to share you with anyone. For a rival to get that close to you, it is extremely personal. He does not care if the person is young or old, they crossed a line, and unaliving them would be much different than the ones he did as Ghostface. He is also a very patient yandere. He can play the long game, that is for sure. Slowly getting to know you, everything about you, and finally being able to make the first move. He would be able to worm his way into your life, may it be as Danny Jed or whoever else. He would be the perfect man for you, and it is very unlikely you would turn down his feelings. He loves to take your photo and even has one of those cork boards that have pictures of you and list of things you like, documents of your family tree, rewards you got from school, anything and everything. It is like a crime scene board, but so personal and intimate to everything about you as a person. It could almost be considered a shrine, but really it is a game play on how he will win you over, and is it is completely unhinged on how much he loves you and wants you to himself. Even more so, it goes back to the freaking day you were born. Who was the doctor and who held your newborn body? Who was the woman who gave birth to you, and so much more? The intimate detail it has about your life is terrifying, that he knows this much about your life, whole existence, not even just your life. Well, hell, he even might have the dang day you were conceived marked down. How he got that, I do not even know. The man's eyes for details of your life is the most intense I have ever seen a Yandere act, and that is saying a lot. He would have wormed his way into your life, and that was enough for him, and he needed oh sorry, and that was not enough for him. He needed to have you as his and his alone, and he would have you. Mark his words, even if he had to lock you away, he will have you. He would have you he would have had there we go gone on a 3 months worth of dates with you, confessing to you his love before confessing his love. At this point, he was certain you would say yes. He has been planning this for months, after all, if not years. He would wait, and if you accept his love, he knew that he had been right and that it was perfect. He would have gotten you a place for him and you to share, and he in this home he's not there a lot because he travels a lot for his job as a journalist, but also because it is the way he had with him being gone often, he can still do his unalivens as Ghostface. Do not get it wrong though. He will have cameras all over the house and have a tracker on you to make sure he knows where you are at all times. He made sure that you were always under his watchful eye and that he kept you as his and safe and sound. If you had told him, well, you can be found. Sorry, I read that wrong. If you had turned him down, sorry, I wrote that wrong. Turn him down. If you had turned him down, well, you can be found chained into his basement, where he is taking good care of you. And sorry, I have to. There we go. If you had. Sorry, that was bothering the poo out of me. Anyways, continue. He makes sure that you are well taken care of and always getting a home cooked meal. And he makes sure he gets a home with a good basement so he can move you from city to city to do his unalivens. You had broken his heart, and he will mentally break you so you do love him and that you never ever leave him. That is right. He is also a petty yandere with you. Not to mention, he loves taking your photos and having them all over the walls, like a shrine indeed. His phone is also filled with photos of you. Now, specific things he would do with a male darling. Let's do this. If you are a man, he would do his best to make you feel like you are less than him at the beginning, at least. He cannot have you getting over filled with yourself or full of yourself, now can he? He is the man, and he is the man, and you need in your life. If you do not like men, he would break you and make you like him. as he would be the only man for you, he would love to make you feel good. You are the only man who has made him feel this way, and he knows that you are special. You he does not like men or women near you. Then sorry, he does not like men or women near you and would not want to share you with any of them. He would make sure that you know that he is the one in charge and that you better fall in line. He would also steal your boxers and touch himself while he smelled them in your bed, at, as well as leaving unnoticeable traces of himself in your bed. Gross. He would break you down no matter how strong of a man you are or think you are and make you his and his alone. The power dynamic would be so severe before you guys became unalivers, and that would be and you would be forced to accept that he was the man in the relationship and you were his boyfriend. It was his job to take care of you and be the man for you, and he would make sure that you understood that. He would also one day be okay with you being on top. So he wants to be able to do everything and anything with you, and he would do everything with you, mark his words. Now, on to the scenario. Wait, let me check how long the audio is so far. Yeah, we can fit a scenario in, I believe. Actually, I should chop it up. One sec. I am back, so let's continue. This is now the scenario and outro. So let's do this scenario. Pulling it up right now because I did type it out. It will be on various platforms. You had been in the entity's realm for some time. Oh, also, this is where you are an unaliver like Ghostface and the other unalivers. Yes. You had been in the entity's realm for some time, and you blamed him, your supposed boyfriend. Somehow, the entity, when bringing Ghostface to be one of the unalivers, you were brought as well as one as well. That is right. You had been an unaliver as well in your human life. Well, you were still human, but you supposed your life, and that was not in the entity's realm. You were not a unaliver per se in your own life, other than what you did. Obviously, you didn't consider yourself to be like the other unalivers. You called yourself an avenger more so, and you were the avenger unaliver. You had to unalive the survivors that the entity gave you in the trials, but your goal was to unalive Ghostface, Danny, him. You were an unaliver in your life and unalived men who are worded your sister. You got your revenge on them and then you realized you kind of liked it. You had unalived men, women, anyone that R worded someone, and you were different from the other unalivers. You were different from them because you did not do it in malicious intent. You did not have hatred for the survivors either, but you did have hatred for your ex-boyfriend or current boyfriend. You had been kidnapped by Danny in your human life when you turned down his feelings as you did not love him, yet at least. And you told him that you did not love him yet, that you could have possibly one day fallen in love with him, but that changed him slightly and he kidnapped you and kept you prisoner for years. The entity had promised you revenge, and you were going to get that one day. You had to keep the entity happy. Of course, you were first forced to be the roommate with Danny, sharing the same realm as him. Danny would like to say you two were now together forever, and that you would be his his unaliver husband. Sorry, was referencing something else. You would punch him in the frickin' face, telling him to frick off. You did love Danny, but you did not love Danny. There we go. You did not love Danny anymore, but you still had some attraction for him. And it did not help that you two did have immense chemistry. So you would hate frick him and hate frick and hate make love to him, just like you did tonight. You roll off your ex, Danny, and pant as your bottom was going to hurt in a bit. but you had to admit Danny was really good in bed. God, I knew you loved me, Danny says with a smirk as he rolls on his side to look at you. Shut the frick up, Danny. You snap at him. I did not love you, and I do not love you. Just between trials, there is nothing else to do. If I were to have adult fun time with one of the other arrivals, you would lose your poo, you tell him. You are mine, he snaps and glares at you, the idea of sharing you making him very bitter. You would say this time and time again, and just like always, he would say this time and time again that you were his, and just like always, you would roll your eyes. You say that all the time, but one day I will unalive you for good, and one of these days it will happen, you tell him firmly. You say and get off the bed, grabbing a towel and your clothes. I'm going to go swimming in the lake. You can go frick off, you tell him, and you could feel him watching your bottom as you walk out away from him. And yep, you felt the slight pain in it from the adult fun time you just received. You would have never admit it, but you did like Danny enough to be trapped with him in the same realm as him. You would still unalive him for getting you into this situation and kidnapping you. Mark your words. Unknown to you, Danny had made a deal with the entity as well. And this is why you were trapped here. You were his prize, and he is keeping you by his side, his sweet, sexy boyfriend unaliver. Anyways, I hope that you all enjoyed this. And if you would like to see more, I will do more of it, obviously, and all that good stuff. And all that good stuff. Anyways, I do have to admit that the realms I'm talking about, it's not just the entities realm. I do the headcanons and stuff on my stories for Dead by Daylight, where each unaliver has a realm, and then there's the forest. So there's like these sort of portal things where the unalivers can go to their realm and go through and in and out of their realms, where it's like it's a bigger version of the ones that they have in the trials and stuff. So like Evans Macklin's the Trappers, I think that's his last name. Evan the Trapper realm is actually his mansion and his property that is much bigger and pristine, and the huntress is her cabin in the woods with her entire forest and such, and animal life for her to have, and etc. And I believe that the entity gives rewards to the unalivers for doing good in trials and stuff, and all that good stuff to get that done. And so that the entity does give them rewards, such as better housing, better food, etc. So the unalivers are taken care of. Well, that's my headcanon for it, the universe at least. Anyways, I hope that you all enjoyed, and stay sexy on my sexy muffins. Bye bye. Secret outro time. Secret outro time. Secret outro time. Secret outro. Secret outro. Secret outro. Baseball bat. Welcome to the secret outro, and the secret outro question of the day is: would you accept Danny's love? Yes or no? And would you smash or pass Danny, aka Ghostface from Dead by Daylight? My answer is I would smash. I would not pass. I would definitely smash Danny and all that good stuff. Anyways, I hope that you all enjoyed, and stay sexy on my sexy muffins. Bye bye.